Stop chasing. What's going on, y'all? Listen, welcome to another lock-in session. All right. In these sessions, we go over some profitable setups so that you can just simply make money in the market. All right. No paywall, no breadcrumbing, just straight locking in, reviewing levels, and figuring out what the best plays are to move forward. All right. If this sounds like something that you want to be a part of, get on in here, man, and hit that like button real quick for me. Doop! All right. And we in there. Who we got up in here? As y'all coming in, let me know where y'all chiming in from. Let me know what city y'all chiming in from. Alchemist, what's going on, brother? How you feeling? Doop! Natalie, good to see you. How you feeling today, Natalie? Talk to me. How you feeling over there? So I'm doing something a little different today, y'all. I'm actually streaming from multiple platforms. So I'm not only on YouTube, but I'm also on Facebook, I believe. If you are tuning in from Facebook, let me know if you can see this because I want to know if it's even working. All right, these are lives that I do every Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. Pacific or 2:30 Eastern. Right? We stay on for about an hour and a half, talk levels, talk trash, laugh, go over things that that you need to know in order to be successful in the market. And you also might get an occasional rant that's just packed with wisdom. All right, so that's how we get down over here. Yeah, y'all hit that like button for me as y'all come in. Subsistence, what's going on, man? Darrell, what's up? What's up? Doop! Ant, what's going on? Jamie, what's going on? Doop! Get in there. QTZ, what it is? How y'all feeling today? How y'all feeling? Y'all want a part two? Y'all want a Mexico part two? Let's see. Feeling a little emotional today. Not the best in the market for me, but I am God's child and it ain't over. I love that. I love that. I love that you know it ain't over, right? It's gonna be days like that. You know what I mean? As you continue to master this craft, there'll be fewer and farther between. But while you're on this journey, like you're gonna get a couple of little scrapes and scratches. Let me ask you this though, Natalie. Have you been journaling? Have you been reflecting? Have you been observing yourself? The first J was good. How you feeling? James, what it do? What's going on, brother? He said he got questions. Go ahead. Ask your questions, Alchemist. We got a little bit of time to get into it. We got a little bit of time to get into it. Liz, how you feeling, Liz? Kanaka, what's going on? I think it's Kanaka. Kanaka, yep. How you feeling? I like when people call me Benz. There's very few people that call me Benz. I like that name. You say you off your journaling since last as well. Okay. Well, there's one thing right there, Natalie. You know what I mean? Again, we're humans. We not perfect. We're not gonna get it right every time. But I will continue to reiterate that if you journal, it will absolutely improve your life and your trading. Anything you journal about, like it's gonna make you more aware of it, right? Because think about it, you're thinking about it, and then you're releasing it onto paper. So now you're not suffering from it, and you have more clarity on it because it's right in front of you, right? So as simple as it may seem, sometimes we think that we can just hold something up here in our mind, but that's taking up energy and real estate for something more. We want to release it onto paper so that we can come back and visit it and look at it objectively and be able to to detach from any decisions or mistakes that we may have made. All right. So let's just get back to it. You say you too. This is it's frustrating not trusting myself. Hey, listen, y'all. Listen, do we need to have a little moment real quick? Y'all come on in here. All right. I really want y'all to understand this. This is all a part of the process, right? I want you to understand who's sitting in front of you right now, right? This is somebody who any emotion that you can think of, any feeling, any mistake, that you can think of as it pertains to life or even this trading journey, I've done it. I felt it. I've lived it. I've made the mistake. Full life. You would think I'm 37. You would think I was 73, right? I've experienced it all, and I come to you to let y'all know, like, hey, it happens. The quicker that we can release ourselves from like that, the bondage of like a decision that we made, like the better. It's very frustrating, and it should feel like that, right? Because the frustration is coming in from the actions or your current reality not lining up with what you know, and there's a process to merge that. Matter of fact, I just made a video, similar to that. It's about becoming versus arriving, right? It ain't no destination that we're trying to get to in this life. It's a identity that we're trying to merge with. So when you start to view the world like that, and you start to practice the becoming, you'll find yourself more involved in the process and the execution, and not so much on the result. All right. So listen, and I also want to say this too. Like on a day where you may not have won or made off like you want to, sometimes you don't even want to hear all that. I get it. I get it, but I'm still gonna tell you. I'm still gonna reiterate it. I'm still gonna let you know, because I know what you need to hear. All right. Every time that there's a streak of losing or getting into a place where you may not be doing, the best, it can usually be tracked to you not doing something that you know you need to be doing, is the point that I'm making. All right. So don't be hard on yourself, but also be accountable to the things that you know you need to do. All right. Doop! Y'all get in here, man. It's gonna be days like that. He said, why did the fight start in the first place? So I'm gonna be real with you. The fight actually started on our side. So it was actually Q's best friend. He didn't like the way that one of the bouncers was trying to direct him or whatever. He was drunk. And also, ego kicks in, you know what I mean? Like who this man talking to type of business, right? So that happened, and he popped off. He popped off he punched him in the face, and apparently that kicked off the brawl. Apparently there were multiple brawls that could have, like, apparently it was after that one, it was like everybody, the crowd kind of settled, and it was kind of like even Steven, and everybody was just like, all right, cool, we done. And then apparently like somebody was shoving a camera in my younger brother's face. So, my brother gave him a warning. He was like, yo, just like, come, like, put the cameras down. And got him put the camera down, so he pieced him up. And then, the next part of the brawl started, and then that's when it got, real ugly in terms of like people using, furniture and stuff as weapons and all of that stuff. Joy said, I need a honey bun. Listen, we got you. We got you. Hey, this Netflix is gonna be a honey bun. We'll get into that in a second. This Netflix is gonna be a honey bun. KDHK, what's going on? Okay, yeah. Okay, all right. So I'm used to Daniel calling me Benz. All right, I be forgetting. Kanaka, all right. I be forgetting. Pamela, how you doing over there, Pamela? Good to see you. So you'll get it, Natalie. I'm still learning to have my It's gonna be some, man. Hey, Liz, man. Listen, IBM went crazy. Okay, Joy said she's at journaling every day this month, and it's incredible what I learned from it. I'm telling you. And see, this is a prime example of somebody that's that's implementing that, yo. And not to sit here and make any sort of comparison. That's not the energy at all. But I'm telling y'all, listen, I want to see y'all win. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like money. I know that my life is going to continue to be blessed just because of who I am and how I pour. So money ain't never really been my, it ain't really my focus. I want to see y'all transform. That's what does it for me. Like, if y'all understood, like, when I get off of here, I'm like, damn, I really be thinking about y'all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, damn, like, what can I do a little bit better to drive it home? I'm trying to, understand y'all, as much as possible. I can't always get to everybody like individually, but I'm hoping that the videos that I drop, the wisdom that I share, the things that I put out there, the meditations that I'm starting to drop now. I'm hoping that in due time, all of it starts to click for you, and you get into that pocket. You know what I mean? But anything I put out, like I said, it works. I'm not gonna waste words. I'm not gonna say something that's not real. So you just have to follow it. You just have to, like embody it, and you will get the results. It's that simple. All right. He said today was definitely not good, but we got this. Claim it tomorrow. Yeah, no, absolutely. Life of Jay Bird. Absolutely, absolutely. Today was weird. I didn't take a trade today. All I did was manage my swing trade. So we applied was something that we called on live. Again, shout out to Eleanor for bringing that to our attention, and we took that. I took 26% on that. I also encouraged you all to get out of that because it was approaching a level that it could have rejected at, which I think it actually did wind up rejecting. So we saw a lot of people made out 20 something percent on that. But yeah, on days like this, 2600, what's going on, man? On days like this, we just gotta start getting way smarter about what's happening in the market. A real good way to understand something is when you see a crazy drop pre-market. That off the top told me what was going on. I'm like, oh, they on some bullshit today. Applied dropped to down 2%. Right? We was almost getting ready to lose our position in Apply. It bounced back up. We made our money. But when you see that early on, there's trickery going on, and what you want to do is not rush to get into a trade. If you can, there's going to be some days in the market where it's like a gift, where it feels like they just giving you money. And then it's going to be some days where you feel like you're struggling to get money out of it. The easiest way to calm your mind and ease your nervous system is to just make sure that on days where you feel a little off, you just take off. You can still be on the call, you can still observe, you can still listen to what we're saying. We're going to direct you through it. But on days like this, I'm like, yo, I'm cool. If it's 250 days in a trading year, right? Because we only 5 days a week and then holidays, so it's about 250 something days in a trading year. Out of those 250 days, there might be like 50 that are not great trading days. Maybe 70 that are not great trading days. And on those not great trading days, there may be a couple that you can slide something out of, but it's about 70 times in a year that you're going to have to make a decision like if you should trade or not. This is from what I've observed over the years, right? And it doesn't mean there's not an opportunity somewhere, but what happens is like you look across your watch list, you look at 10 to 20 stocks and you still not seeing nothing and you seeing stuff going against like what the technicals are saying. You got to just be like, man, look, I'm cool. Knowing when, like the timing and all of that stuff is everything. You can apply this to every part of life. Coming up with the idea of I don't know, like the telephone or something like that, like made sense years ago. But if somebody was like, yo, I got this new invention, man, it's like a telephone, but I call it something, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like you got there a little too late, right? It's the same thing. It could be the right partner, right? You waited till they got booed up. You ain't make your move when it was available, when it was easy, when she was calling you every day, when she was right there, when she was putting herself in a position to be talked to, right? It's so many examples of this. So we got to always make sure that we on point with the timing. Getting back up is definitely key. D. Clark, definitely key. You said Tesla 1 hour bull flag. Yeah, let me jump over to the charts in a little bit. But I just wanted to make sure that y'all are good. He said you've been down bad many times in my life. Focus on the lesson. Yep, no facts. Did the tab get paid? Hell nah. Hey Adam, the tab never got paid. They tab never got paid. They was definitely squabbling, man. You said you need 500+%. Hey, Netflix might be that. MU looks good to the downside. Best Beezy, what's going on, brother? He said, I don't like the market right now. Yeah, exactly. Hey, listen, and here's the thing. When you don't like the market, It's just don't do it. It's that simple. It's that simple. As says Pac-Man, what's going on, man? Listen, go ahead, rub it in. Listen, I just gotta always keep it real with y'all, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's gonna be things you want to hear. Sometimes it's gonna be things that you do not want to hear. But what I'm always gonna do is keep it funky. All right. So look, let's without further ado, let's jump into these charts real quick. All right, let's jump into these charts so that y'all can see what's going on here. All right. Now, Netflix, y'all. I told y'all we just need to be a little patient with Netflix. We have Netflix out until May. We did a nice little recovery today. It was up as high as it was up like 2.2% at some point today. So it was looking really good. Again, we have this out to May. So the next thing that we need to do is just get through this bearish order block right here. So if we can break above 79, we'll be in the clear all the way up to the 90s. That's where you're going to see the real pump take place. All right, so we're nicely positioned in this. I think the drawdown on this is only about like 8 to 9% right now. I got to go and look at the portfolio to see what it's looking like for Netflix, but yeah, this is a solid play. I'm still feeling really good about this. We got about 5 touches off this bullish order block right here. So this thing should be taking off pretty soon. All right, so just hold tight on that. Again, applied, we can go look at applied. We made 25% on that today. Again, called it out in the group yesterday with the alley-oop coming from Eleanor. Again, appreciate you for that. And look what it did today. It went exactly to the target. You see that green line? I drew the target. I called the target out in the group, and it hit that exact target. All right, I got out a little bit earlier than the target, but again, that's what targets are for. It's like it gives you time to make a decision based off price action. So I got out of there. I probably could have made, instead of the 26%, it probably could have been more like maybe like 35, but I'm happy with that. Again, if this can close above that target today, then we could see a full retracement up to highs over the next, week or so, making this double bottom a real thing. Okay. So, we went up here, hit here, went up here, came back, forming a double bottom off the failed 2D yesterday. Today will be the confirmation day. It could be cool for another swing today, actually, y'all, if it closes bullish like this. All right, it's starting to pump. It looks like it does want to break through this target. So yeah, this could be we could get right back into this today. I'll let you guys know for sure as the live progresses. Another thing I wanted to bring to y'all attention was Google, right? So Google, let me pull Google up. Google, man, this is what I tell y'all, old school. People always want to call me on live, man. Google, old school. If y'all don't remember anything that I tell you, all right, remember this. A trend line is it's a friend line, right? A trend line is a friend line. The trend is your friend, okay? The trend line is always going to let you know when. Tank got a song. Y'all go look at. Matter of fact, y'all know I'm an R&B fan. I told y'all that one of my first CDs was Lauryn Hill, Deborah Cox. I'm a R&B, dude at heart. You know what I'm saying? I like rapping, all that stuff. Y'all, listen to Baby Keem and all that. But I like to. I'm the type to walk around the house singing. You know what I'm saying? Like when they used to be in the rain with their shirt off. Like that's my spirit animal. Y'all don't know that yet though. All right. So Tank has a song called When, and he just wailing on it, just saying when, like really trying to understand when, talking about timing. When is the right time? When we gonna make this happen? The trend line is telling you when. All right. The trend line is nothing but a diagonal support or resistance. That's it. All lines on a chart mean the same thing, right? It's like a decision's being made there. So if something is holding a particular trend, your decision or your entry should always be in the direction of that trend. It's not until that trend is broken that you can then decide to go into a different direction. So as long as this is holding, because we had a fail 2 up yesterday off the bearish order block. So it looked like Google wanted to fall pretty substantially, but it's catching right at the trend line, right? if you didn't have this trend line drawn, you might not even known that was taking place, and you might see this as a continuation, or it could be wanting to come down even further. So when we draw these simple trend lines, right? If it's an uptrend, you got to draw it under. If it's a downtrend, you draw it over the top, right? Connect the lows for an uptrend, connect the highs for for a downtrend. Simple. And then when there's a breach of that, a close on the daily time frame, that is where you can make a decision to change directions and catch the earlier part of the move. All right. Google is catching right here at the trend line. So what it looks like to me, if we can close in this failed 2D, that we will go back and retest this bearish order block and possibly break up above it. All right. So if this closes in this manner, this is also something I'll be considering taking. All right. Tesla. I know we was talking about Tesla. Tesla is looking real good. It went, even if it didn't, like, it's up to 2.2%. When I was talking about it, it was up like maybe like 1.3%. It has now gone and formed a bullish engulfing. It was going to go either way tomorrow, because even if it closed earlier, like even if it closed somewhere like around here, that would have been a piercing pattern, right? 50% of the previous candle being pierced into by the by that following day bullish candle. So either way, we would have been swinging this. I'm swinging this. If this closes in a bullish engulfing or not, I'm taking Tesla to the upside. I'm getting it out for a couple of weeks though. Not this week, not next week, but probably probably like mid-March is what I'll get it out to. This has the potential to retrace, at minimum up to about 433, right? So we got, $25, that can be made before we run into, some sort of resistance. So I really like this. If we can break through this order block, then, it can go even further. We just got to see what type of momentum, Tesla's coming with. Another thing I want to bring your attention to is the double bottom inside of the double bottom, right? So if we're looking at this from like a wider perspective, we look at this bottom here in November, and again, it's bottoming out here in February. But then we have this shorter term double bottom where it came right here, came up, formed the bearish order block. Institutions pushed it back down, and now we got the double bottom lining up right here for it to go right back up into this order block. So Tesla just looks really good all around. All right. Also, the bullish order block is sitting right here. It's been bouncing way before that, so it looks pretty bullish. Again, a bullish engulfing off of this would be a pretty short play right there. All right. So Tesla is also on the radar. Again, I got like 3 plays that we could enter. I'm probably going to narrow it down to maybe one that I'm actually going to take. But again, as I'm mentioning these, you can get in where you're fitting. Also, before I go any further, let me switch back so you can see your boy's face real quick. All right. This is not financial advice, okay? And it's impossible for it to be a financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor. All right. This is for entertainment purposes only. All right. So anything that I'm talking about on here is something that you need to make sure that you're going and doing your own research and due diligence on before making a decision. Right? When you get into a play, you're doing it from this thing, your brain, right? I'm not pulling the strings. I'm just on here entertaining, talking shit, saying things that I think, right? I don't know what I'm talking about, right? Sometimes it works out, but that should not be a reason that you get in, all right? Always do your homework. Always do your research, all right? Had to get that out of the way. Who else we got up in here? Rich Lyons, I see you. What's going on, man? 2600. Who else we got up in here? I think I got some. We got Fun Diggity. Oh, we got my girl in the building. My girl Cheyenne. So y'all, this is Fun Diggity. I'm not sure if she's still here, but Fun Diggity, she is the CEO of Fun Diggity Funnel Cakes, right? Going to the moon with it, right? She was a co-star on the show 60 Day Hustle. If y'all haven't checked it out, get familiar with her. She's straight out of Compton, doing her thing. Just it's lit all around. Solid individual. So if y'all not familiar, go get familiar. All right. You said Marcel Tesla is showing a nice hammer on the weekly. It's showing a hammer on the weekly too. Let me see. Yeah. So everything about Tesla looks good. Everything about Tesla looks good. All right. So yeah. All right, so like that's what I got on the radar, y'all. If there's anything else that y'all want to see, now is the time to go ahead and drop it in the comments. All right. Again, if you're just now, getting into, these lives. Again, I'm here every day, right, pouring into you information that will cost You know what? Whole time I'm on the phone with, with a friend the other day, right, and she was, we were going over some things. She's trying to learn a little bit about, about stocks and stuff like that. So I'm kicking some, some game to her. I'm sharing some stuff, and she was like, one of my friends, like, they looped me into this meeting, this weekend, and they were going over the same thing that you be talking about. And she was like, they were like kind of, she's like, I felt like they were kind of like breadcrumbing me because they get you all ramped up and excited. And then at the end of the meeting, they was trying to sell me into this, this course, which is nothing wrong with, right? We all got something to sell. I'm never going to be holier than thou. Like, you shouldn't sell something. We got to all eat. We all got to sell stuff, period. I'm never going to say don't sell, don't make money. However, it's some people that just, they value money too much, and they don't love the people, right? This is something that Isaiah, we talk every day. We always, saucing each other up, right? It's something that he told me one time that always stuck with me. But it's like, you gotta love the people and not the money, right? Because when you love the people, you're gonna pour into the people, and inevitably your life will be blessed. But when you focus on the money, nobody leaves that transaction feeling good. So the point that I'm making is that they tried to manipulate, make them feel high, but left so much information out and told them that in order to get to the point where they could do this on a consistent basis. Can somebody guess what the package was? Somebody just in the comments. Somebody guess what they was trying to charge them. Just like, y'all see what we charge on the membership. Just somebody in the comment guess what they was trying to charge them to join this group. I'm not even gonna say the names because I'm not gonna put nobody on blast. But just see if y'all can try to guess what the amount was. And then we'll jump right back into the charts. All right. Higher, Alchemist. Higher. Hunter, what's going on? Much higher than 5K. Much higher than 5K. What else I got? Everybody saying 1,500. No. Much higher than 37,000 is what they were charging. I told her, I said, look, I'm not even trying to sell you into our thing, right? First of all, it's next to nothing what we charge. Everybody here knows that. Based on what we give away, it's pennies to the value that we give away. We know that. $37,000, and she showed me the little, like the little curriculum rundown. I'm like, wow, people really don't care about people. If somebody's joining and trying to figure out how to trade options, and you're trying to charge them $37,000 and even financing them into the program, you do not care about people trying to learn to get money, or at least your target audience may just be it. It may not be people trying to come up. It may be people that's already up. I don't know, but I think that is insane to try to charge somebody 37 grand to learn this stuff. Right? Your mind is in the wrong place. All right. So yeah, 37,000. And she was like, people were signing up. And I was just like, wow, so I say that to say, man, we got to continue doing this, doing what we're doing, because what I feel like we're creating with the Prosperity Collective is it's like an anti-industry group, right? We are for y'all. We trying to get y'all to that next level. All right. Yeah, you're going to have to pay a little something. That's just life. But we are always trying to make sure that there's a surplus of value to the money that you spend. All right. Hence, while I'm here right now for free. All right. Y'all go ahead and drop them, drop the stocks that y'all want to see, so I can go back into analyzing the stocks. All right. Yeah, it's crazy. 2,600. Yeah, Brittany, I'm telling you. Insane. Insane. Yeah. We talking about like a year long program. That's it. It's to me, I'm like, that's crazy. And I wish I could have just been there to be like, yo, y'all don't, yo, come on over here. Y'all don't got to do all that. And I can also guarantee you that somebody that's looking to charge that to the people, they're also not they're also missing a certain element that is really what they need outside of the skill set, right? It's there's some other things that I think just being around me and Isaiah that you'll pick up just from being around, right? It's not even stuff that's always said in words or whatever. It's just being in the community, right? Other people in the prosperity collective that y'all pick up stuff from, right? When you start seeing somebody that you're in the community with and they're exuding certain behaviors, they doing certain things, you start to be like, oh shit, well, okay, I can do I can start implementing that because they're getting the results. You see what I'm saying? I don't think that exists over there. All right, but I digress. Let's get into the real stuff. All right. All right, so we got MVST, Oxy, Amazon. Let's jump into that real quick and I'll come back and grab some more. All right. Again, y'all, as y'all are coming in, man, go ahead and hit that like button for me. That's all I need. That's all I need from you. I never gatekeep any of the levels. I never charge you 37,000, but I just need you to hit that like button one time for me. All right. All right. So look, was it MVST? Is that what it was? Yeah, MVST. All right. NVST. Let's get it. Invista. Okay. That's on the weekly. Let's look on the daily. All right. Y'all. It said next earnings in 71 days. Invista stock rises post. What's the news on this? Post earning. Okay, so they had decent earnings. All right, so they gapped up here. So yeah, we got this gap that will need to be filled. Again, y'all know my philosophy. Okay. I always tell y'all I don't like to really get things that are not high probability. Right now, yes, this has bounced off of an order block. It is performing well, since the last earnings, but it's already started making a move. And when I look at the risk to reward, this would be the reward right here, up to about $30. It's not enough space for me to say, okay, let's swing it. Now, another way that you could look at this is we could get crafty. We could go ahead and draw the bull flag on this because that is what's taking place, right? We got a bull flag on here. Um, yeah, it's actually a pretty nice bull flag, and it is outside the bull flag. So we do have a break outside of the bull flag, which is actually solid. Let me actually get a full measurement for where it could go. I got a feeling that the pole measurement is going to take us right into the bearish order block target. Let's see if I'm correct. So let's say about right here. So again, y'all, when we're drawing bull flags, and if you're not familiar with bull flags, please go get familiar with it. I got plenty of videos on it. You can Google it, Chat GPT it. But a bull flag is when something has a consistent, like at least a three bullish candle trend, and then it pulls back, but not exceeding 50% of the pole. So this up move right here is called the flag pole, hence the bull flag, right? So this is the flag part of it, and this is the flag pole. Now, the way that you determine how far the stock can possibly go once it breaks out of the bull flag is you just simply, use your trend line tool right here and draw a horizontal line to measure the same distance of the pole. And then you take this and you attach it to the outside of the bull flag, right? So we already got the breakout point. So that's exactly where we can put it right there. All right. And look at exactly where it's going. Let me pull this down so you can see exactly what I thought, right? It actually has the potential to go up into this bearish order block. So something like this could actually be a solid swing for about 2 weeks out. Again, I'll be completely honest with you. I'm not familiar with this particular stock, so I'm not really familiar with the nature of it. But when I do look at the history, it looks like it consolidates quite a bit, which I don't like, right? That's that shit I don't like. All right. When I see this, I'm not trying to I'm not trying to be involved with this is like a you want somebody that's consistent. All right. Think about somebody you dating. I always bring stuff back to dating. Maybe what is that saying about me? Hmm. I'm always bringing it back to date. I don't know. I feel like dating got the best like metaphors and analogies for life. But you see this consolidation, this is inconsistency. This is like on, hot and cold, right? You want something that's consistent, right? So we got a little bit of that right here, but again, just the time in which it takes to make up his mind for a direction, I'm not feeling. So even though in theory this could be a good play because we got the bull flag measured up, it did bounce right here off the order block. It did break out of the bull flag and it could, do a full measured move up to about $35. I personally am not going to take this, but again, you're your own person and this is something that is not a bad setup. So, do with that information what you will. But I personally won't be taking this or signaling it. But it's pretty cool. It is a bull flag, and we understand the rules of a bull flag. All right. What was next? We had Oxy. All right. So Occidental Petroleum Corporation. Let's see what they talking about. Okay. Huge gap. Huge gap here. Beginning at about 49.50. Right? Well, we go up a little bit. Really about 49.60. We did reach a top. It did decide that it wants to reverse. Um, it has made a lower low, lower high, but going into the end of the day, it is starting to push up a little bit. So, I would be a little okay, I gotta take that call in a second. I would be a little I'd be a little like just leery about getting into this to the downside. I want to see a little bit more confirmation, or I would like to see this close more bullish, right? I mean more bearish. I'm sorry. I would like to see this come down to at least like 51.39, somewhere in that area, for it to just show more downward pressure. Right now the pressure is starting to push up. So what could happen is tomorrow it could come back and retest this high. So we don't want that just yet. Again, we don't have to front run this because when it does finally make its move, again, it's going to come and clean up this little gap right here. So we never need to rush into a play that has this much cleanup to do. All right, we can take our time and make sure that it hits a certain a certain level. So what I would like to see tomorrow is a break of this previous day low. Even if it doesn't happen, we don't have to wait to close. We can see a break of the previous day low on the 2 hour. Right? We get some sort of like a 3-2 or some sort of 2 candle to break through that with force, then we can go ahead and enter that. So I'll keep Oxy on the radar. Is it a swing right now? Nah, I wouldn't do it. All right. Amazon, let's get into it. Amazon. What we talking about, Amazon? Again, commercial break, guys. Listen, if you are looking for a community to be a part of, the Prosperity Collective is the best group on the internet. I know y'all gonna be like, "Oh, you biased or whatever." I've been in them, right? I've sat in them. I've learned from the goats or the great whatever whoever y'all call these people, right? There's no place like the Prosperity Collective. Mind, body, soul, everything you need will be fed and nourished in this environment, right? Your environment is critical to your trajectory, so you got to make sure that you choose the right one. All right, so if this stuff that I'm doing on here resonates with you, if these plays and levels that we discuss and talk about have helped you earn money, and you finally want to make that leap into, no pun intended, you want to make that leap into the group, then I would say hit the link that's in any of the descriptions of any of my videos. follow that WAP link and go ahead and make that decision. All right. We're looking forward to welcoming you. People are joining the group in droves every day, and we would love to see you in there. All right. Let's get into Amazon. Yeah. Amazon handled business today. Amazon definitely handled business today. All right. Again, I'm conservative. I do like that it's holding, but I want to see Amazon above 213 before I mess with it. But it is forming. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Is that quite a bullish engulfing? Would y'all say that? Let me see. We got a bullish engulfing today. It's slightly. It's bullish for sure. I ain't gonna say it's an engulfing because down here. But yeah, I would like to see it break this level right here to to go and try to fill this gap. That's where I think the best risk to reward is. This could still push down tomorrow, just depending on what they want to do with the markets. So again, I need to see it clear a clean 213 before I'm interested. But once it clears 213, man, we could take this baby up to about 220, and then that'll just be the first level. If we can continue beyond that, we still got this gap up here at 227. I'm not saying that it will all happen in the same play. I mean, if you have a longer term, maybe like a 2-3 month play, you'll be fine. But if you're doing weeklies, we'll play this level to level. But the next time I'll be interested in weeklies or next week's contracts would be at the level of 213. Until then, I'm not interested in the upside, and it's not enough for the downside for me either. All right. So that's Amazon. Make sure y'all mark those levels too. 213 for Amazon for a breakout. All right. Microsoft, and then we got Apple. What is Microsoft talking about? Who called Microsoft? 2600. That's a solid move. I like Microsoft. Hold on. Let me see something real quick. Ooh, you know what? All right. I'll say this. So, because Microsoft came and cleaned up this gap right here. I like Microsoft. However, it has one more gap to fill. So even though we do have a failed 2D right there, which normally would be a good reason to take it, I think that it's going to come and sweep liquidity down here, right? This is where institutional buyers are. This is liquidity, right? So even though the move is looking really good to the upside right here, they want you to get in right here because they know that below here is where what is. Let me see how much I've been paying attention. What is below this area right here? What's it called? What's below this? Let me see who really be paying attention. All right, this area right here. What are we gonna place somewhere in this area right here, slightly below that? What do you think the market makers are tracking? Right? What do you think they're seeing? What are they seeing? Let's see who's paying attention. Exactly. D. Clark, you got it. Stop losses. Yeah, no, straight up. And y'all know this. Y'all know this about the TPC, right? This is not just me getting on here and saying it. This is like, go look at the testimonials, right? Are we 100% perfect? Absolutely not, but we are very close, right? And you are never going to feel like you don't have the support that you need to get to that next level. All right? We pride ourselves on that. But yeah, that's absolutely right. D. Clark is stop losses. Exactly, Mikey. Exactly, Alchemist. Exactly. Right? So again, yeah, this could bounce. It's a failed 2D. Of course it can bounce. But I see what it did here. I see the downward momentum. it is in a downtrend. Like, yes, we got a reversal, but with the order block this close and this gap this close, why would we think that it wouldn't come down and it came this far not to come back into this area? I think that the next time we see a full reversal is going to be here. And again, this might even bounce tomorrow, but it may just be tomorrow and then come down. So even though it does look good on paper, right? Like it's like, oh, failed 2D coming off a, yeah, that is a reversal signal for sure. We always got to keep context at the forefront. So that's why we zoom out a little bit. We look to the left to see what's going on. We got this gap here to fill, right? And then it may even go straight through this gap because you see it comes down. It would come down to about right here with no interruptions, right? And that's right about where the order block is. So also what that momentum would do, and with the amount of stop losses that it'll be knocking people out of, it's gonna push the market down a little bit more. So just think about when liquidity is going to get swept. Think about like just how far something goes after you make the decision to stop, right? So when you're driving a car, you can slam on the brakes and it could stop immediately, but it could be some serious damage. For the most part, it's like you start slowing down before you come to a complete stop, right? A ball that's rolling that gets like interrupted or whatever. It's like everything has a slowing down period, but it doesn't always happen like right when you say that you're going to stop. So even though this area right here should be where it bounces, the liquidity will get swept up just because of that extra momentum coming off of the downward pressure, if that makes sense. All right. So I like Microsoft more in this area, and I'm willing to be patient for it because it's just way more risk to reward. All right. Way higher risk to reward. All right. Again, man, as y'all are coming in, y'all hit that like button for me one time. Doop! That's all I need from you. That's all I need from you. All right. All right. What else what other I keep going back. What other stocks do we have? What other ones do we have? So we went over okay. MVST, yeah, for sure. Yeah, Jamal, what's going on, man? You said the outfit I looked at years ago is not. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, 20,000. It's insane. It's insane. Said dating and basketball, working out, you have the best. Yeah, no, that's real, George. You could definitely pull some great stuff from these things. All right. Let's do Meta. Liz is talking about Meta. Let's check out Meta. All right. Let's see what's going on in the Meta universe. All right. Again, y'all, same scenario. So I'll get a little bit more in detail with Meta and why I don't think that the upside is exactly it just yet. Again, what did I tell y'all? The trend line is the friend line. All right. I'm gonna say that until it's drilled in your head. The trend line is the friend line. Right? It is guiding you. It got your best interest at heart. So yeah, we got a little fail 2D right here, right? Market pushed up a little bit, but it's still in this downtrend. And where is this downtrend pointing to from this reversal? It's pointing down to this bullish order block, right? This range. You see how it's been going up and down in this range? It wants to come back and retest this order block. At that point, Meta would be a much better buy. I'm always trying to make sure that when we get on these lives, right? I love that y'all are sending me stuff, but I always got to let y'all know we not taking any random trades. These things got to be at a specific point, right? They need to be in a place where it can go further than where it can retract, right? We want it to have a high reward to risk ratio. So here we still, if we were to take a swing here, if somebody just was like, oh, I see a fail 2D, I'm gonna swing it. There's a lot of people that think like that, right? then you could be faced with it getting slapped down by this trend line that's been working since January, right? So this trend line been intact since January, and you think this little 2D is going to push it through? I don't think it will. It's a possibility, but let's see it do that first. And again, once it breaks the trend line, then we'll make a decision. But if it breaks down this 2D and we have this trend line here, I'm willing to guarantee, because of the slope, right? How steep this trend line is, if we fail this 2D right here, it will come down here quickly, right? That's another thing that slope tells you, right? Or the trend line tells you. People also call trend lines speed lines. Why? Because a slope is telling you how quickly something will make its way down, right? Or up. The slope is telling you the speed, right? This has a pretty fast speed, as you can see, right? There are some trend lines with slower speeds, right? Like if I were to come over here and draw a trend line right here, this has a slower speed. This is not quite as steep as this one. This one is not. Oh shit. Hold up. This one is not quite as steep as this one right here, right? This is a little bit of a slower speed line, a slower trend line, right? But when you see something this steep, when it fails, you'll see every time it fails, look at how big these red candles are. Do you see that? I'm telling you, like the trend line, if I could compare the trend line to something, it's like it's the trump card. It's like, you know what I mean? Like you playing spades, this the big joker. Like, it don't matter what somebody throw out, you sitting there like just kind of laughing, like you gotta get one more book. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get one more book, and everybody trying to figure out, they trying to figure out who got what or whatever. They trying to rerun the cards back in their head, and you sitting there with the big joker like, all we need is one more book, and we got it. That's the trend line, right? As long as it's under, you know where it's going, right? You can use it in so many ways to predict the next move. Always make sure that in connection or in conjunction with what you're already deploying, whatever strategies you're already deploying, make sure you are also keeping trend lines on the short time frames and the bigger time frames. All right. Just a little food for thought. All right. What else we got? HIMS and MU. Let's get to it. Again, y'all. We got a trend line situation that we can create. All right. The bear flag did not quite work out. We didn't take it because it never fully broke. So let me just take this part off and let's just focus on the current uptrend that it's in. All right. I'm telling y'all, the simple things. It's the simple things that makes this trading stuff so good, right? We got the trend line drawn right here. All right, boom, trend line drawn. All you need to do is wait for a break of this to get it and catch it down to this target here. As long as it is holding this, it's showing that at this rate, it's making its way up to retest this level here. And then we have a resistance, right? A trend line is slanted support when it's an uptrend. It's slanted resistance when it's a downtrend. Y'all feel me? So this resistance right here is no different than the resistance that we would draw on a downtrend. This support right here is no different then the support that we're drawing right here on the uptrend is just slanted, right? All you're doing is doing like this, right? Because the stock is moving in a up, down, or sideways direction. So the resistance, the straight resistance and the straight support is really more so for ranges and consolidations. The real support is moving like the stock, which is diagonal. I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense? Y'all feel me on that? Is it starting to unlock something in your mind? You starting to be like, oh, is it starting to unlock? Because that's what I need to happen, right? That's what I need to happen, because this is going to be what activates that dog trader that's living inside of you. It's just little nuances that somebody might not have taken the time to tell you, that you might not have observed. But them trend lines, it's like this. It's nothing but a slanted resistance and support. That's it. So if we're making decisions at the slanted support when something is breaking out of a range or consolidation, then what if we catching the stock on the move? We're going to let it break down out of the trend. All right. Lock in. Lock in. All right. So when it comes to MU, I'd only be interested in MU once it breaks out of this trend line. So if it can break down out of this trend line, somewhere like maybe like around 412 or something like that, I'd be more than happy to take that intraday with the target down here in the order block in the 380s. All right. So I got the trend line drawn. Make sure that you go and put the trend line on every stock that you're analyzing. Any stock that you send me, I'm going to throw the trend line on it. Right? I'm going to look at what's going on. I'm going to look at the order blocks. I'm going to look at the fair value. I'm going to look at the volume. I'm going to look at the Bollinger Band, Keltner channels, all that stuff. Even though I don't have that turned on right now, it's off. But when I'm ready to swing, I look at that stuff. But I'm definitely going to have that trend line on. All right? All right. Again, as y'all are coming in, man, hit that like button for me real quick. It'll be greatly appreciated. All right. Greatly, greatly appreciated. All right. We're going to look at HIMS and then we're going to go straight into AMD. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan of HIMS, y'all. HIMS is still coming down. HIMS is still, it's in a consolidation right now, but I think the next move is going to be a continued drop, right? It's going to be a continued drop. Here, let's do a HIMS trend line. And we'll start a little bit higher up, because we're looking at it on a longer trajectory. Because when HIMS does finally get its act together, it could be good. But we're not gonna focus too much on it on the day to day. We're gonna look at it from the perspective of a change of trend and recovery, and we catch that. Okay. So I'm gonna bring this all the way down to this order block. I'm connecting multiple points, and this is the trend. All right. I'm also gonna get rid of this bear flag, because that already worked out, right? I'm gonna get rid of the bear flag. It worked out like we talked about it. Y'all see the drawings, so I'm gonna delete those. All right, I'm gonna delete those only because I want to keep a clean chart for you to see clearly what's going on with HIMS. Sometimes we get distracted by like a okay play, and we miss out on something that is like a home run banger play that could really change things, right? And that's what's happening right here. So yeah, we in the immediate future, we got this bearish order block right here, right? But what did I say about the trend line? Look at how steep this is. Look at how fast this is moving down. What if you was sledding or skiing down a slope like this, right? You'd be like, hold up. You see what I'm saying? So once we get a break of this, it's time to change directions. So if we can get a break of this, maybe somewhere up here like $21, right? That's when it's ready. Sometimes stocks are going to go through eras where you don't even need to trade it for like months at a time. Like it's nothing there. Like Netflix, it ain't been nothing there. HIMS, it's on a downward trend, right? But it's also doing like weird consolidations. And we don't want to necessarily play it to the downside because it is starting to approach a order block, and it's down pretty substantially. So again, the biggest and best move is going to be a change of direction in HIMS. So once it breaks this trend line, right? Look on y'all charts and start drawing longer term trend lines so that you can be right there when the move changes and you can ride it up. Right? This when it breaks this might be a leap potential. We might be able to swing this out for a year, right? And catch the whole move up and beyond. So for HIMS, I'm staying put, right? But I am keeping it on the radar and I got my trend line drawn and I'll be watching this. And once it breaks this, I'll be ready to scoop it up like it's nothing, make easy money. All right. So that's HIMS. That's HIMS. Make a video for Discord on trend lines. I got one, Liz. Just go on my page. I got one for trend lines already. You just gotta navigate through it. I'll go through the I'll go through and look at it. And if I can find it quickly, I'll just go ahead and drop it in the Discord. But I already made a video on trend lines. All right. Exactly. 2600. I'm telling you, when y'all start to like really zoom it out, so looking at charts is like watching film. You know what I mean? When you really sit back and watch the film and just look at like how a stock behaves, you start to really understand like, oh, I don't gotta be caught up in all of this every day. Here, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna just show you. What's better than just showing you? Look, this was a downtrend. This was a downtrend. We could even connect these two right here. When it broke out, look at what it did. When something decides to change directions, look at what it does. But instead, we want to get caught up in the day-to-day. We want to be like, oh yeah, it's a name. Somebody said something about it. We want to go just try to force money out of it. It's like, yo, your time is coming for every stock. You just got to find it. Draw your trend line and you will absolutely find it every time. Nothing can stay in a trend forever. So all you got to do is catch the change of trend. So it's trending down, it's trending down, it's trending down. Yeah, you could play it day to day, but it's been trending down so long that there's not that much juice left to the downside. So your better entry is waiting until it exhausts itself of the downside and then gains energy and momentum to power to the upside. Simple. All right. So HIMS got a lot of potential, man. Let's hop to AMD. AMD it did a move today, y'all. Apparently there was some business that happened. What did they say? Advanced Micro Devices they partnered with Meta, right? In a $60 billion AI chip deal over 5 years, boosting AMD shares over 14%. Right? This is major. Yes, we still got this to the downside. So I'm always going to be like, be cautious of that. Right? It's been flirting with trying to fill this for a very long time. It also has a gap here to the upside. We are still in limbo. Even though it had a crazy move today, we're still in limbo. We still don't know exactly where it wants to go. The line in the sand is 221.50, or I have it marked as 221.48, 2 cents, right? 221.50 is the line in the sand. This is the neckline for the double bottom that's formed off of this gap. If it can break this, then we'll have a clue that it wants to come and fill this gap first. Again, this is still not off the table, but you don't got to worry about nothing down here until it breaks this level of 190.97, right? We still got those lines drawn. So with AMD, it's a patience game. Again, we were on here talking about this yesterday, and I decided not to take it to the downside. Not that I knew that it was going to jump 9%. I ain't going to cap and be like, oh, yeah, I knew it was going to jump 9%. I'm not one of those. I did not know it was going to jump 9%, but I knew that it has the potential to jump, right? I ain't know 9%. This is what you call getting lucky. For somebody that took calls, They got lucky. We were smart. We have our levels drawn. Even though it came down substantially yesterday, I think it was like 2.5%, it didn't break our level yet. So we didn't take it. And thank God we didn't take it, because you would have been down 100%. That would have been a negative honey bun. All right. So again, we got our levels drawn. We're patient. We waiting in the cut for them to get breached. Until then, it's a no trade. All right. Until it breaks 221.50 to the upside, no trade. Until it breaks 190.97 to the downside, no trade. That's the play on AMD. All right. And again, I hope this is all sinking in for you. I'm here to make sure that y'all get what y'all need, right? I'm here to make sure that y'all get what y'all need. Ask the questions that you need answered, right? Ask the questions that you need answered. The things that you don't quite understand, throw them in the comments, right? I'm here. I'm live. Like y'all got me. Y'all got the energy for as long as I'm here. Take advantage of it. All right. You said you learned that the hard way is powerful. Yeah. No. Absolutely. Them trend lines, I'm telling you, they the friend lines. Trend line to friend line. That's who you lean on. All right. You said I like that. It's not a must to jump into everything every day. And they get overwhelmed. I'm telling you, y'all. Listen, let me switch back to y'all real quick, because I gotta, I want y'all to understand this. Like, and again, I might get to a point where I'm sounding like a broken record, but that's good, because at some point it's gonna seep in. All right. Every day is not your day. Even when you live in life, sometimes you get up and you're just not feeling the greatest. Cool. Right? Doesn't mean that you still go about your routine, whatever, but it's like you may not do certain things. So if you wake up and trading is not giving you the environment that you need to be successful, just acknowledge that. When you look at your trend lines, if they're still following a trend, okay, that could present some opportunities to take a in trend play, but you also want to analyze how long has something been in this trend and how close is it to a place of possibly reversing. All right. When you have the trend line and you can identify the place of where it's possibly going to reverse, that is when you are in a good position. And all you got to do is just continue to wait. When I lost the most money? I lost the most money when I thought I could tell the market what to do. You know how arrogant that is? Do you know how arrogant that is? Some of the smartest people in the world are coming to this sophisticated game every day and doing what they got to do to make money and eat and feed their family and stuff like that. And you think that you can wake up and inflict your will onto the market. That's arrogance. And I know that y'all might look at arrogance in some other form, but you got to humble yourselves and get to a point where you know how to flow, right? You know how to flow with the direction of the market, right? You know how to back off, right? These are all life skills. You can't engage yourself in every argument, every little slight thing that that somebody might be doing that could take you off your energy and stuff like that. You engage it. No. What they say when you see two idiots arguing, you see somebody arguing with an idiot, you can't tell which one is the idiot. Right? Same with the market. If the market is doing some idiotic stuff, you want to make sure that you're not grappling with it. You want to look, you got it, bro. It's cool. It don't make you any less good at this skill. As a matter of fact, it makes you a much better trader when you can identify those moments. Life too. I used to be a person where it's just like, yo, if I felt like I was being disrespected, or I felt like somebody did something that was just like whatever, it would cause a rise or a reaction. And I quickly learned that you cannot respond to everything. Sometimes you got to just be like, look, I'm looking at the bigger picture. I understand the lay of the land. I know when I take my shot. I know when I'll get in. But there's also other things at stake. Right? This is learning life. This is understanding. And I'm telling y'all going to see way more victories when you start to adapt that mindset. Way more victories when you could just be like, look, it's nothing today. Cool. No money lost. But forcing, look, and this is another thing about writing it down. And I'll get off my soapbox for a second. When you write it down, you'll notice that every time you lose, you forced it. You went against your plan. That's really what the writing down is about, so that you can go and read it like a book. Right? You can go and read it like a book and be like, damn, now I gotta really address me. Now I gotta really look in the mirror and see why I keep doing the same thing over and over. That's a different problem. That's what you call self-sabotage. Right? The meditations that I'm doing, I got one on self-sabotage, I got one on fear coming out. Everything that I've been teaching you guys, what I'm understanding is that there's two avenues in life, right? There's the becoming, right? That's an internal journey. Then there's the arriving, which is more of an external journey. And I'm not one to say you got to take a complete journey inside and forget the external. No, we need both. That's what balance is. We got to do stuff out in the physical world. That's why we have physical bodies. And we also need to mine and excavate our insides as well and go on that journey so that we can have a better time on the outside. We need two separate trainings for both of them, right? We need the subconscious level training, which is why I'm starting to give you meditations, right? And then we need the physical, which is me verbally speaking to you and you going and taking the action to implement it in real life. So the subconscious reprogramming, that's the meditations. All the videos that I put out, I'm realizing that, man, there's a meditation to this video. So I'm trying to start coupling the concepts that I'm teaching you guys with meditation so that you're getting the internal and the external training. And when you merge those two together, oh my, you're going to be dangerous. You feel what I'm saying? I hope you do. All right. Yeah. No, you gotta do it. I'm telling there's so much. Man, I could talk for hours. And I hope y'all feel it. Like it's going to shift for you. You just got to allow it to. The shift is going to take place. You know what I mean? Like it's going to hit you like a stack of books in the head when it finally does. I know it's starting to click for a lot of y'all. I've been talking to some of y'all offline. I'm seeing the changes. Some people that have been here for a while, I'm seeing it start to catch, right? But this is stuff that I like. When y'all are long gone about your life, it's something that I want. It's my intention that you hold on to these things and you're able to go and and share it. Share this with with your people and whatever. Like you know what I mean? Each one teach one. That's how I see it. All right. What else? Yeah, y'all definitely go make sure I dropped a video today about winning daily. Go watch that video as soon as y'all get off of this. It's a really solid video that I think is going to kind of like drive home some of the stuff that I've been saying. Get into the meditations. Also look out for more meditations coming. Again, we're going to make sure that we are training the inside and the out so that you can be a whole person, right? If there's anything else that y'all have questions on, I'll be here for maybe 4 more minutes before I hop off. But I do appreciate y'all, man, every day showing up for yourselves. I'm starting to see, a consistent community on here on YouTube. And like I said, I'm seeing the progress in each of y'all. Let's see. I just set alerts on Spy. Yep, there we go. Did you put the trend line on there too? 2600. Yeah, declare it. Being a picky, if you're gonna be picky about something, being a picky trader is definitely one you want to be. Absolutely. Yep. I'm telling you, quality over quantity. That's really what it boils down to, yo. We can't catch them all. We can't be with them all. We can't own them all. We can't do all. But the right ones and being able to identify what the right ones look like is everything. So focus your energy on that. Right? When you're in your study time, ask yourself like, okay, let me really sit down and get clear and get these things out of my mind and put them on paper. What is it for me that constitutes a great setup? and then you write it down. Once it's out, it's there. Now your focus is on how do I make sure that I'm staying consistent and honoring what I'm doing. All that is integrity with yourself. We're humans, we fall short of our personal integrity sometimes. But the higher integrity you have with yourself, the better you will be in everything. Because all becoming is just kept promises. Look at it like this. You keep a promise, you merge with that new self that you're trying to become. You fail on a promise or you don't uphold a promise. And I'm talking about a promise to yourself, not anybody out there in the world. We starting with you because that's the most important thing, right? When your integrity is, you're holding up your integrity to other people more than yourself, that literally is saying that you value other people more than yourself. So confidence is derived from keeping promises to yourself. So you figure out what it is that you need to do, and then you start making a promise of things that you're going to do to merge with that person, and you just keep those promises. Right? When you say it like that, sometimes we don't look at the things that we're not doing as promises broken amongst ourselves. But when you start to verbalize it like that, it puts a little bit more responsibility in your court, and you like, oh, you know what? I'm a liar ass person. I don't be keeping promises to myself. And when you start to look at it like that, you're like, damn, whatever I get is what I deserve. Because I'm not solid. I can't say I'm gonna do something and do it. I fall off. You see what I'm saying? Start with yourself. Start with honoring the things you're gonna say on a super micro level, small things, right? And watch it translate. All right, listen. I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. I appreciate y'all. You said, Jamie, we appreciate you. You have helped me so much. I'm so happy to hear that, Jamie. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you for sharing that. We hear repeating until it sinks in. Yeah. There we go. Love to hear that, Joy. I'm gonna keep showing up for y'all. You know what I mean? I just need y'all to keep showing up for yourselves. Again, if today was not the greatest day, for you, write it out, get it out, and make the adjustment. All right. Again, y'all, I'm gonna let me go to here. I'm getting ready to hop off, but I am gonna be taking Tesla. All right. So I'm gonna be swinging probably the 411s out 2 weeks. All right. So if you guys want to make a decision on your own with your own brain to do that, not because I'm saying it, then go right ahead. I think that's gonna be a solid play. All right. Also, the ones that we're holding, again, applied, worked out. We took profits on that. Another really good trade. Netflix is doing this thing. We got that until May. We're gonna continue to let that do what it does. But again, today I'm taking Tesla. About to do that right when I hop off. All right. Remember, y'all. Let me hop back over here. Invest smart so that you can live free. All right. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.